Hey, yo. Welcome to the Big at 11 college football kickoff show. As you can see, it's me by myself for the time being. First of all, wasn't so happy with the way that Johnny and Marcus broke down the Ohio State game. So, you already know I got to go over that here in a few moments, but waiting for some people to join in. So, shout out to all of you who are joining us. Make sure you make sure you subscribe to A House Divided and all that good stuff. I'm ready to talk about some college football, man. We finally starting to get into some Big Ten games this week. So I am excited for sure. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Andrew Bush. Appreciate y'all for showing up. We got a decent amount of people coming into the chat. So shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining. Marcus should be joining me probably sometime around halfway through. He is on his way out of town. So he's got his little laptop, so he'll be joining. He'll be talking about some Michigan stuff, but I'm excited to talk about the Buckeyes today, man. They've got a tough task. I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be good. Felix says, I need your quarterback to throw 200 plus for my parlay. 200 plus. I think that could happen. I think that's possible. I think you might have a good bet on that one. We'll talk about it in a second. So many good games. Oregon just played last night. I'm glad they won because that's on my parlay. I got a 28 leg parlay. I'm trying to win big this week, y'all. I'm trying to win big. You hear me? I'm ready for it. All right. So we got 4 in the chat. I think we're good. I think whenever y'all are ready to start talking about some good old football games, I'm ready to start talking about some good old football games. All right. As you can see, repping the Buckeyes hard today. We got a tough task, like I said. Caleb Johnson. That's the tough task. It is what it is. He's already entering Heisman conversations. And I mean, for good reason. I believe against the teams that he's already played, he's averaging like 100 and probably 50, close to it, 2 touchdowns a game. He is their entire offense. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Cade. I know he came from Michigan. I think Cade is a really good game manager. I think he's only thrown 2 interceptions so far this season, and both of those were against Iowa State. Now, that could say something because that is probably the only team that they've played that's been tough. Let's see. They played Illinois State, Iowa State, Troy, and Minnesota. Minnesota is not as good as everybody thought they were going to be going into the season. Let's fucking go Bucks. Appreciate you, Tyler. So it's really a game that I'm excited for because I don't know if Caleb Johnson is just amazing or if the rush defenses that he's played against are just that bad. So I don't know if realistically he's going to go off in this game like he has gone off in other games. Looking at what we've done so far against Michigan State, we've held them to 47 yards rushing. We've held Western Michigan to 28, Akron to 47 yards rushing, and Marshall to 125 yards rushing. I don't know what that was all about. But did you hear those names that I just said? Michigan State, Western Michigan, like Akron. Those games also don't scare anybody as well. So it'll be a really good test to see if our rush defense is as good as we think it is. Tyleik Williams is actually here like he wasn't against Marshall. And so I think that's going to be huge. I'm looking for a really good game from our linebackers this week. I feel like the talk of the town has been, Sonny Styles. I feel like CJ Hicks hasn't really shown improved like we thought he would playing at the linebacker position. Cody Simon is as advertised. He's been the bright spot in this linebacker core. But I really like Arvell Reese. However, in a game where you essentially have to stop the run at all costs, I think this is going to be a really good game for Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles isn't the best in pass coverage, but when he has to help the run support, I think he's going to do a really good job at that. So I think we're going to see Sonny Styles quite a bit. Obviously, we're going to see Cody Simon, and I think when Arvell Reese gets out there, you're going to hear his name quite a bit. So I'm excited to see what we can do. What do you think the mentality is going into this game with Oregon next week? Whew, we've got a really tough task. I mean, I think we've got Oregon next week. Well, obviously we got Iowa this week. I don't want to overlook Iowa. We got Iowa this week. We've got Oregon next week. We got Nebraska. Then we've got Penn State. This is the tough part of our schedule. I mean, I'm sure Michigan in November is going to give us some run. That was a pun intended for sure. But this is the tough part of our schedule. 4 games in a row that I think are really going to show us who we are as a Buckeye team. I'm really excited for it because I think they'll come through and pass with flying colors. One thing that I really wanted to discuss is, we've talked quite a bit. It's been a theme to this season on this channel is Will Howard and the decisions he makes very small, a very small amount of times, but he makes some bonehead moves from time to time. And I think it really showed itself in the Michigan State game where he was throwing into double coverage, making a lot of passes that just didn't look like they were good decisions whatsoever. And obviously one of them leading to an interception. I don't know if that's going to continue to show his head. I don't know if maybe it was his first road game, so he was feeling a little bit more pressure. I don't know if this was just the first tough team he's seen all season, and it's Michigan State, so I use that term lightly. But I don't know what that was. But at the end of the day, we did kind of see some bonehead moves, and quite a bit so compared to the rest of the season when it came to Will Howard's performance against Michigan State. Now, obviously, we won that game. Obviously, he still did okay. And obviously, we have Jeremiah Smith. I'm naming my firstborn son Jeremiah. I have to now. I owe everything to that man this season because he is amazing. Amazing. I love it. The catches, he just looks great. He looks great. He is what we thought he was going into the season. I can't say enough about Jeremiah Smith. And if we're talking Jeremiah Smith versus Ryan Williams, I mean, Ryan Williams made a great play in that Bama game, but it's no competition, baby. It's Jeremiah Smith, dog. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So I'm excited. Obviously, I'm excited. But back to the question at hand, what do you think the mentality is going into the Oregon game? I really want to see our defense, and again, specifically the defensive line and even the linebackers this game, because obviously stopping the run is going to be huge for us here. I want to see that they are multifaceted. Obviously, I trust Denzel Burke. I trust Igmanosin, Hancock, Caleb Downs even. Like, I trust all those guys, Lathan Ransom. I trust the DBs. I trust the DBs quite a bit. And so I really want to see that the linebackers can support where needed. And then obviously that this defensive line is going to get some pressure on the quarterback. I really thought it was weird that Gabriel threw a couple interceptions early on in the game yesterday. And obviously, I think that offensive line still needs to be punched in the mouth. And I think we have the defensive line to do so. Will they? Will they? I think that's the mindset you got to go into it, is making sure that the defensive line comes ready, comes hungry to put some pressure on Dylan Gabriel to force him to make some bad throws, to force some interceptions. That's got to be the mindset going into it. And then getting the linebackers prepared enough to support, whether it be supporting the pass or supporting, obviously stopping the run. That's what I'm looking for. And we will see it in Iowa, because if the linebackers can help support the run, support stopping the run, it's going to be in this game. It's going to be in this game. So this is a good tester. Then going into Oregon, I think we win that game. I think we win all the games, but I think we win that game because their offensive line is not who it needs to be. And so I'm ready. I'm just ready. This is a good test game. Iowa's not the best, but it's a good test game. I'm not comparing Cade McNamara to Dylan Gabriel, but I think if we compare offensive lines, Oregon fails that test. So we'll see, man. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. I think this is a game where if Will Howard can keep his composure, I think Jeremiah Smith has another one of those games to put him right up there amongst the elite receivers, and he continues to show improve. I'm not sure whether or not the run game this week will be as good as it has been. I'm not willing to bet that both running backs get 100 yards, like I've said before. So I think it's Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson. I think they're going to do well. I just don't think they're going to do as well as before. Remember Tavian Banks, same story here. Katz and Moyer stuff Banks all game. Linebacker play. Yep. And I really want to see them perform like we thought they were going to perform in the offseason. I think Cody Simon is obviously our best linebacker, but I really want to see more out of Sonny Styles. I really want to see more out of CJ Hicks. I don't know if we're going to see more out of CJ Hicks because Arvell Reese keeps coming to show improve. Again, I'm going to sing the praises of Arvell Reese because he's done well so far. I think he's shown that once some of those guys move on, he's going to be a guy who we're going to hear his name quite a bit. Arvell Reese. Say that name. Get used to it. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to get off as far as Iowa game. I think it's going to be a good one. I think we're going to win by at least a couple scores. Again, Felix says he needs Will Howard to throw for 200 plus. I think he's going to throw for right above 200 plus. It's not like they have Riley Moss and some of the other ridiculous DBs that they've had in the past. But it's still Iowa, and they still have a great defense. I think they're going to get good pressure on Will Howard. It's not going to be a game where Will Howard is going to go off, but if he can limit the mistakes, I think it's possible for him to get above 200 plus. I do. I really do. And then when you've got a receiving room like Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Emeka Egbuka and Brandon Ennis, you just don't fail very often with a receiving core like that. You just don't. And so I think you got a good prop bet. I wish Ohio didn't remove prop bets. I would make so much money if Ohio still had prop bets. I really would. I would be tearing BetMGM up. So that's just me. Ohio, repeal that law, please. Does anybody else have any thoughts about the Iowa game? I'm willing to hear. I'm willing to hear what you guys had to say. Chip Kelly starts earning his money today for sure. Like I said, we got a 4-game stretch where we need Quinshawn and Travion to tear the game up and take pressure off of Will Howard so that he's not making some of these bonehead moves. It's so much easier to just run the clock with these amazing running backs, this amazing backfield that we have. Even James Peoples is out there getting some burn. So I think we've got the best backfield in the Big Ten. And if anybody wants to argue that, feel free to join the show. I'll be here until 12 o'clock today. So feel free to join the show if you don't believe that Ohio State has the best backfield, at least in the Big Ten, if not in the nation. Chip Kelly's definitely earning his money today. Okay. I think that's enough Buckeye talk for now, at least, unless anybody has any other thoughts. Michigan is playing Washington today. And I don't think there's going to be any surprises with what Michigan's going to do today. Michigan's going to come through and they're going to do exactly what you expect them to do. Alex Orji facilitating this double down rushing attack with Kalel Mullings, and that's all she wrote. That's all it is. I think it's another game where he's going to get less than 50 yards passing the ball. But Washington is not that team that's going to be able to stop that. I just don't believe in their defense to be able to stop what Michigan is trying to brand as Michigan football right now. I just don't believe they're that team. Michigan's going to start having troubles when they actually start facing some of the tougher Big Ten teams. Now, obviously, they got it off with USC. I'm not taking any shots at them. But I think once they start seeing the Oregons, the Ohio States, that's when they're going to be like, okay, maybe this isn't going to work. Washington's not that team, but they have a bye week next week, if I'm not mistaken, and then they go play Illinois. I think Illinois is confident in their pass defense enough to stack the box against Michigan and really give Michigan some trouble. So if I was a betting man, I'd take a look at that Illinois game, and maybe that's a game where Illinois gets an upset. Or maybe I'm just a hopeful Ohio State fan that really wants to see Michigan burn. I don't know. Washington doesn't have the offense that's going to catch Michigan off guard. I think it's really going to be a straightforward game. I think even if it's a close one, Michigan edges this one out. It really hurts me to say that Michigan's going to win a game. But going into this, I expected them to lose 3 games, and I still have it being those 3 games: Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. Maybe Illinois, because Illinois looks like they really want to get out and prove themselves. I think that might be a trap game. If they're looking ahead, Illinois might end up being a trap game where they end up losing. But I only had them losing 3 games. I'm not going to be that Buckeye fan, but I kind of am that Buckeye fan. If Illinois ends up beating Michigan, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. I can get that off. I feel like I can get that off now because Marcus and Johnny are both not here. Illinois is going to be a tough game for them. I'm just throwing that out. This Michigan team will struggle on the road no matter how trash Washington is. I think they dropped this one. It's possible. I just don't see it personally. I just don't see the spark in Washington like obviously years past. I don't see where they're going to get it from. It is a road game, so I will give you that. And Michigan is insanely one-dimensional, but I just don't think they are the team that's going to be able to stop them from doing what it is that Michigan does. Even if it is a close game, I do see it being a close game. I will give you that. I got one. Why is the spread going down? Now it's 17.5. The spread between Michigan and Washington, is that the spread 17.5? Or is that the spread us versus Michigan? Let me know. I'm actually kind of interested in that. But yeah, I just don't believe Washington is that team. Maybe they can prove me wrong, but I don't believe it. OSU Iowa is going down to 17.5. I don't believe that. I mean, I believe what you're saying. I don't believe that it should be going down. I think last time I saw it, it was like 23.5. So why they would have it going down that much, I have no earthly idea. You know what? Let's see if I can find. Was there anybody significant on the injury report? I didn't hear anything. Injury reports. Let's see. Has anybody seen anybody like notable on the injury report today? Or if there is even anybody, let's see. No, I don't see anything yet. So let me know. Let me know if there's anybody who is significant that's going to be out. I don't remember checking for anybody. So that's the only explanation I have for it going down to 17.5. Even if I don't feel like that's going to be where it's going to be by the end of the game, I don't know. We'll see. Again, Iowa on the offensive side is very one-dimensional, just like Michigan is. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see. Again, we talked a little bit about Oregon's game last night. I didn't get to see the entire thing. Obviously, they went up 31-10. From what I saw, at least stat-wise, very similar to what Ohio State did against Michigan State. So that's kind of interesting. Dylan Gabriel, like I said, threw some picks early on in the game, which had me scared because, again, I had Oregon on my parlay, and so I don't need those kind of scares. But I just don't believe in this Oregon team like everybody does, man. I think when you have a offensive line that is essentially Swiss cheese, when you start to play teams that actually have a defensive line, it's going to be a rough day for you. I think obviously games against guys like Michigan State aren't going to show that. Oregon is going to be, I have us up a couple of scores in that game. I don't know if they have an answer for Jeremiah Smith. I don't know if they have an answer for our rushing attack. I don't know if they are going to solidify their offensive line. I don't even know if Dylan Gabriel is that guy. I mean, he's good. He's good, but I don't know if he's that guy. So I went into the season like, ooh, Oregon, ooh. And now it's it's not it. I don't believe in Oregon either. They look small, almost like Notre Dame. We outclassed them all over the field. Wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly. And so, you know, somebody asked earlier what the thought was going into it, going into the Oregon game. I feel confident. I just need to make sure that Will Howard is not making any bonehead mistakes, especially in the game before. And I'll feel very confident. What's not to be confident about when you have offensive weapons across the board, an offensive line that seems to just, like, I don't know what happened this offseason. Maybe it was Seth McLaughlin. But the thought going into the season was that this offensive line for Ohio State was going to appear like it did last year. And that's just not the case, especially when it comes to blocking for Quinshon and Travion. And it seems like they're giving Will Howard all the time to be confident in the pocket. I really love what I'm seeing out of the offensive line so far. And then DBs look amazing. Defensive line, while I have questioned them at times, they're still doing the job that they need to do, especially when Tyleik Williams is there. And I guess the only problem is we haven't played anybody, so maybe it looks different when we play somebody, but we're going to see. We'll see. The X factor for Ohio State versus Oregon is Chip. He probably wants this more than anyone. We ain't losing. I like that. I agree. I like that. Chip has been amazing with the play calling. I feel like, you know, when Ryan was doing it, it kind of felt really bland at times. We were seeing a lot of, you know, screens and a whole bunch of just dumb shit. It just kind of, you were left looking at some of these games like, what the fuck is going on with this play calling? I feel like I haven't really felt that way with Chip controlling the play calling. I love it. Here. It's great being an Ohio State Buckeyes. Some of you Michigan fans out there want to join up with the team. You can't. Fuck you. But you can at least look at us on the bandwagon to the national championship. Okay. Do we got to talk about any other Big Ten games? Let's see. UCLA at Penn State. I mean, I think obviously Penn State's going to be good enough to take over against UCLA. I also don't believe in Penn State. They have been choking in some of these games that they really shouldn't be choking in. If I'm not mistaken, they played Illinois, and Illinois should have won that game. It was like really close until like closer to the end of it. So I don't believe in Penn State. I don't believe in Drew. I don't believe in their backfield all like that. I don't feel like Nick and Katron are performing like they used to. I don't believe in them all like that. Their defense is okay, but like, I don't believe in them. With Chip controlling the offense, everything has gotten better. Facts. Go Bucks. Appreciate you, Rufus. Well, the biggest problem was our perimeter blocking was severely lacking. I have no problem with screen passes. You just need a block, and our receivers weren't doing that. Our receiving blocking has gotten a lot better this season as well. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. I feel like they've just, I don't know if they've taken it personally from some of the things that they've seen, but I feel like they have taken the task of blocking and they've done amazing with it. And then you got guys like Travion out there blocking, but Travion looked like he wants to pancake somebody. I've just seen some of the highlights of him blocking. Travion looks like he wants to get out there and hit somebody more so than he wants to break off for an 80-yard run. He wants to smack somebody and pancake them. I love that. You got to love when your specialty guys are out there blocking, especially with that sort of mentality. It's just been amazing. And I don't know if that's Coach Locke. I don't know who that is back there, but they just look great. They look great. McCord balled out last night. Got to give him props for that. Look, man, I've said it on this channel before. Obviously things didn't go so well with McCord, but I mean, realistically, he's only lost us one game last year. But he just wasn't that guy. And I feel like we have an X that we look at and we see them thriving, but we're thriving over here too. And so you feel great for them doing their thing over on that side, but you also know what you got over here is amazing too. So I applaud Kyle McCord for everything he's doing over there. I'm happy that he's thriving with Syracuse. Chip came in and said, if you don't block, then you don't get the ball. I believe that too. But I just feel like it's a mentality thing too. Like, I just feel like they are hungry to go out there and make some great pass block decisions. And they want to pancake somebody. You don't see that too often from a running back. Like Travion seems like he's excited to go out and hit somebody, especially when a linebacker's coming in on a blitz. He's ready. He is. It's the mentality of it. I can't explain it any better than that, right? Like I played lineman when I was in high school, and so linemen go into it. That's their key stat. Obviously, we want to go out there and pancake somebody, but for running backs, the glory comes from rushing yards and touchdowns. You don't get that same feeling from pancaking somebody that a lineman would. I feel like Travion really loves pancaking people, just like a lineman does. That's just me. And some of the receivers are showing improvement as well. And I don't know if that is, a Mecca leading the wide receiver room and letting them know that, it's more than just receiving yards and touchdowns. It's also, the plays where you don't get the glory, where you also need to show up and prove. It just seems like there's a improved feeling around blocking all around. Everybody's getting into it, and I like it. All right. Locke said no soft cookies in my running back room, and Trey said bet. I'm telling you, I think it might actually be Coach Locke. Coach Locke, he shits muscle is hilarious. Coach Locke is crazy in the ways that you want him to be crazy. Like, obviously, I'm in a room full of football nerds who understand that sentence. He is crazy in all the ways that you want him to be crazy. And I'm so glad we made that upgrade from homeboy who went up north, because he ain't got the juice like that. He just don't. And you can see it. You can clearly see that they're not performing where they need to perform. So glad we got rid of homeboy. Uh-oh. I must have talked too much shit. So homeboy wants to join in and talk some shit with me. Okay. All right. Hold that thought, everybody. I'm about to make sure I bring your boy Johnny Olden in. But make sure that y'all get some of these other takes in there. I'm going to see what we can talk about, because we're in Big Ten play, and I'm really excited about the fact that we're in Big Ten play, but that means less games for us as well. So we'll see what's going on. All right. Johnny, I went ahead and sent that over to you. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. Boom. Not Johnny. Yes, he even looks the part. My boy, Coach Locke. I love it here. I think we made the right decisions in coaching. Got Chip Kelly. And some of not anybody in the chat, but some of the Buckeye fans wanted to get rid of Ryan. It just took a little bit of pressure to make him to make the right decisions. And so now that he's making the right decisions and going to get Chip and going, and obviously, he didn't expect having to get a new running back coach, but he made the right moves in the offseason. He went and got some transfer portal guys. I'm happy here. I love it here. Salute. I think Ohio State will win pretty convincingly today. I think Chip brings a different attack strategy this year. Facts. Oh, no, not the glass.
Yo, the champs are here.
No, they're
champs.
No, they're what
are the champs?
I hate these glasses. Get out of here. What Washington today? What does this look?
What?
Are y'all Washington today?
Yeah, we're gonna beat them.
You get this super cocky, confident attitude, but like
we the champs. I mean, what am I supposed to say? You got to come out and beat us. Texas beat us. Okay, got it. Everybody, y'all had y'all fun. But Washington, I mean, we're not scared of anybody. Yeah, we could possibly lose, but we ain't scared because you got to deal with what we bring to the table.
You know what? I don't think you actually should be scared of Washington. I mean, you've already beat them. So I don't think you have to be
scared. We're going to beat them twice in the same year.
That's crazy.
Unheard of.
That's crazy. They're not even the same team as last year. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm throwing that out. You don't need to be scared of them. You guys got a bye week, and then it's Illinois. That's what you should be afraid of. Illinois is looking to prove themselves against you guys. I think you should be afraid of them.
Oh, I'm definitely. They worry me because they play a similar style of football as we do, and they got a better passing quarterback than we have right now. So, yeah, like Illinois plays physical, strong, Big Ten football. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's gonna be a battle. That's gonna be a physical game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm ready for that game. That game seems like it's going to be a big one. I think that's the same week we play Nebraska. So I'm excited for it. That's gonna be a good week. I wonder who Penn State has that week. Who cares? Them glasses are worse than the turnover chain from Miami.
I don't know why y'all hating on the Buffs.
The turnover buffs are garbage.
Y'all hate it because y'all don't have it.
We don't need it.
What do y'all do when y'all turn it over? Go shake.
A pat on the back.
Shake each other's hand.
Good job.
What
more motivation do you need? You need to wear.
Last year, y'all weren't that good at turnovers. So y'all didn't get to pat each other on the back that much.
Okay. Well, all you need is internal motivation. What is this turnover buff bullshit?
Girls,
I like the turnover chain. The turnover chain is hard.
Y'all hate that we go to the sideline and we got the whole gang behind us like we in the hood. What's up? We got Jim Harbaugh, the coaches in here, dog. What's up? What's up? Y'all hate that. Y'all hate it because it's dope. I know. You got to explain. I know because it's dope.
No, it's not. And yes, I understand the buffs in Detroit. I get it. I understand where it comes from. It's still trash. It's still a generic version of the turnover chain. That's all.
The turnover chain. This is a whole different thing. Like this is eyewear. It's
eyewear, so it's totally different.
This is totally different. This is eyewear. We got my boys. We got them all behind us. What's up, dog?
No. It's
been there. Y'all ain't been that good at turnovers.
It's just like the turnover throne from Colorado.
See, now that was just out of hand. Like,
is it?
It's like UNLV with the casino, the slot machine thing they had. You know,
or
like, that's ridiculous.
What did Tulsa have? They had like a turnover fedora or some shit.
See, like stuff like that is ridiculous. Like, you know, these are just glasses.
So are the Buffs. The Buffs are just as bad.
No, you just don't like it because you don't want to like us.
Okay. I like when people from Detroit wear them. You're in Ann Arbor. Keep it Ann Arbor.
Oh,
just
wow.
Just saying. Appreciate you, good therapist. Okay. I just want to point out that he says we act like we've been there already.
Y'all been there. Y'all ain't been getting no turnovers. Y'all just started.
Okay.
We getting turnovers over there looking. You know what I'm saying? Throwing up the foes, throwing up the deuces. What up, dog? What up, dog? Detroit, what up, dog?
Willie Beeman is hilarious. least you got some people in the chat that respect your football acumen because
Yeah.
it ain't the Buffs. It ain't the Buffs.
I just came off from with Chris and they hate the Buffs. Every OSU fan seems to hate the Buffs.
I like the Buffs. I hate them for Michigan as a football team.
Why? What's where?
Stupid.
Because it's dope.
No, it's not. You're appropriating Detroit culture in Ann Arbor. I hate it. I hate it. Appropriating Detroit culture is nasty.
Did you? You need to stop. You need to stop now.
Facts.
Did you already talk about Oregon and Michigan State?
I talked a little bit about it. Go ahead and give us your takes.
Oregon is I don't see Oregon beating Ohio State, definitely. And I still think Michigan can beat them, honestly. They struggle. I mean, they're looking better, but they struggle. They're still small in the trenches.
Yes.
And we're not trying to pass it like that. We want to run it down your throat.
Facts. That's a
they
fact.
don't throw downfield, really. They throw sideways and they throw short. And as we saw, Dylan Gabriel, he'll turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the beginning of the season, I was saying he ain't Bo Nix.
Yeah, you did.
He ain't that. So, they're still beatable to me.
And you guys obviously have a world-class defensive line.
Exactly.
That'll definitely get back there and put pressure on him. And he might cough up the ball a couple times. So you might be able to, sneaky win one of those games. But
that's all we need is a sneaky. We trying to win by a half a point if it's possible.
But Illinois might sneaky win against y'all. So
yeah.
I'm
worried about them because they the type that we hit them in the mouth and they're gonna hit right back.
Facts.
Like, what's up? Y'all ain't scaring us. They're not gonna be scared.
Facts.
So,
yeah, no, I'm really excited for that game. That's gonna be a good one for sure.
Don't be waiting on us to lose.
I mean, you said it. I didn't say y'all was gonna lose. I just said it was gonna be a good game.
That's why it's so interesting. That's why you can't wait. You think they gonna beat us? You ain't tricking me.
It'll be a close game. I'll say that. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. They could beat y'all. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Indiana at Northwestern, Purdue at Wisconsin, Rutgers at Nebraska. I think those are all games that are pretty straightforward, unless you have any other thoughts on any of those.
Who's that?
Purdue at Wisconsin, Indiana at Northwestern, and Rutgers at Nebraska. Those all sound like a Nebraska win, an Indiana win, and a Wisconsin win.
Now that Rutgers and Nebraska game, that could be interesting because
be close.
Rutgers plays a tough Big Ten style of football, and if you let them stay around in the game, they can mess around and beat you. They got what's his Manon guy? He can run that thing. You know what I'm saying? So if Nebraska doesn't get up on them early and it goes into the fourth, that's Rutgers. Rutgers is like a similar to Illinois and kind of Michigan. They want to really grind the game out. So if it goes into the late third quarter, fourth quarter, Nebraska might have a problem on their hand.
Oh, for sure. If it does go into that, it's going to be rough for them.
Yeah, so that'll
especially since they haven't felt a lot of adversity this season.
Exactly. So that'll be interesting to see, as far as Dylan Raiola's growth as a young quarterback. Oh, you hate him?
Little baby Mahomes. I'm cool. I don't hate him, but he thinks he's better than he is. Rutgers of mini Michigan. Yeah.
A lot of these teams, mini Michigans, copycats.
Who else?
Illinois.
Okay.
Iowa.
Okay.
Who else? Everybody. James Franklin wants to be a mini Michigan.
Gross.
I got Harbaugh, I got the two backs, I got a 5-star, make him a game manager. I play great defense. We're gonna try to run the ball and play ball control. Boy, get out of here.
But the problem with that is he's James Franklin.
Yeah. He's trying, I can do that. I got two backs. I got a 5-star quarterback. I can make him a game manager. Maybe I can be like Michigan.
You're James Franklin. That's never going to happen.
Hey, they try. They try to be like the champs. Even Ohio State, y'all too.
No.
We bringing everybody back like Michigan did last year. We got an easy schedule. Y'all had one last year, so we're gonna be.
First of all, we don't do that with our schedule. You know what I mean? It just so happened to be that way. We didn't plan that. Second of all, we can't plan the fact that everybody just decided like, oh, you know what? Let's run this one back. You know what I mean? Let's just do what we got to do. Matter of fact, we didn't get Marvin Harrison back, so not everybody's just gonna come back. I
hear you. Y'all brought back a lot of guys. Some
of those guys felt like they weren't going to get drafted very high, and so
Bro, UGA lost them players. Every year, those players were going to the league. Y'all got that from us. Them dudes weren't coming back. They were going pro.
The only one we didn't expect to actually come back would have probably been Travion. I thought he was gone.
Travion.
Emeka had to come back. JT had to come back. Sawyer had to come back. Those guys weren't going to get drafted very high. But if they come back and they show improve and they win a championship, now they're going to increase their chances. Denzel, okay.
It's a lot of them. A whole lot of them.
Not a lot of them. You just, and matter of fact, we didn't get the transfer portal from y'all. We tore up the transfer portal.
We brought a bunch of linemen from the portal. Yeah, we did.
Okay. We brought Will Howard, Quinshawn Judkins, and then a freshman wide receiver that's going to get the Blitnikoff. Okay. That's something y'all definitely don't do.
Y'all don't want to be like us. I understand, even though we the champs. Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Josh, do you believe that OSU ceiling is too high early? And who is better, Smith or Williams? Do I believe their ceiling is too high early? I feel like based off of the teams we played, we haven't gotten a chance to show and prove that we are arguably the second best team.
Man, y'all don't play nobody.
But we will. Relax. We got a 4-game stretch of playing teams that are going
name the teams for me.
Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, and Penn State. That's a tough 4-game stretch. We're gonna win all of them handily by 2 scores each.
Say them again.
Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, Penn State. We're going to beat them all by 2 scores. But that's because we are really us.
Games then.
Yeah. For y'all, that would be hell.
Of course, this year. But this is what I'm saying. If it's a tough game, you go into it like, I don't know.
There's no game that I'm going to go into it like I don't know. We can play Texas, and I'll be like, we're about to beat Texas.
Bama.
We're about to beat Bama.
So let me, because I touched on this on my live the other day.
I'll be shaky, but I'll say it. I will say it. And
how would you say it?
I would tell you how we're going to beat Bama. Now, whether or not the execution is all the way there, but we're going to beat them. Like, I'm confident that we would beat Texas or Bama.
What watching that Bama Georgia game, what were your thoughts watching it?
That was a great game. First of all, okay, Bama, I'm going to need for you to not go up damn near 35-0 at the half and then just let the whole thing go in the third quarter. I almost bet my dad and my brother, we were watching the game. I almost bet them that they were going to go up 35-0 at the half. Like, that's the kind of game that it was looking like early on. And then all of a sudden, Georgia just comes back. Like, what?
I fell asleep during the third quarter. I was like, this is a wrap. I fell asleep. Thankfully, my girl called me going into the fourth, and I woke up right as it got ridiculous. So that doesn't worry you at all watching that? They look different. Bro.
No,
they look different.
Because that
y'all
doesn't worry me.
Like that.
That doesn't worry me because Bama is shitty enough to almost lose that game despite being up 28-0. And Georgia is shitty enough to let it happen in the first place.
Yeah.
So, like, neither one of those teams scare me.
They were just, Georgia, what was crazy about that was they just were throwing it deep, like, fuck it. We throwing it deep every time. We don't care. 3-step drop, 5-step drop, and I'm bombs away. And it started to hit them.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say if anything scares me, it's Georgia's second half adjustments to look like a completely different team after that second half. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing, maybe. But other than that, for you to let that happen in the first place, you're just as shitty. To me, at least, like, and how I view you versus my team, nah, I'm not even. Okay, I don't think I have much to be scared of.
So let me ask you this. So if you were to play Bama or Georgia, because I don't think either team ran it very well, and they shut down your run game, do you have faith in Will Howard to be able to execute with his arms? And when I say run game, that means Will Howard's legs too is shut down for the most part. He got to make some throws now. You in it, and you got to make some throws. It's on that arm.
Yes. But I'm also crazy enough to have had confidence throughout the entire year for Kyle McCord. So don't ask me that question. Right. I had confidence in him. Not that I had arrogance or that I felt like he was the best quarterback, but I had confidence at least enough that he would guide us, and he only lost one game. So yes, I believe in Will Howard's ability to throw the ball. Now, he did make some bonehead moves in the last game against Michigan State, throwing in a double coverage and little stupid shit like that. But I have confidence in him. Okay. And I also have faith in Chip. So, you know what? I was going to answer this question real quick as well. He asked me, who is better, Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams? The answer is Jeremiah Smith. And I think you knew I was going to say that. That's the only reason you asked me that. You know I'm going to say Jeremiah Smith. Stop it. Ryan Williams did look nasty in that game, but
he got that wiggle to him. He got that.
Sure. He does.
So what makes let me push back on you a little bit. So what makes him better than the kid?
Jeremiah Smith is out here making the quarterbacks look amazing. Devin Brown overthrew him on that throw, and he still made that catch. I would say that Devin Brown put it where it needed to be so that it was out of reach for the DB, but any other receiver, I don't even know if they catch that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they catch either one of them catches.
Go to this Goj comment, this last Goj comment.
They act as if Howard is orgy. That one.
But we're not talking about just winning the Big Ten, bro. We're talking about winning the national championship. That's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking on like he can't throw against Michigan State. We're talking about if you don't have your run game, can Will Howard lead you to victory with his arm? That's just the question. That's a valid question.
I think the only thing that I am worried about is limiting bonehead moves and doing things like throwing into double coverage. As long as he doesn't do anything crazy like that and he makes good decisions with the ball, yes. I guess that's a weird way of answering that question. As long as he doesn't do anything stupid, yeah, he's great. But that's what I've seen from him so far. And he hasn't even done a lot of that. So I'm confident.
He hasn't had to. You know, he hasn't been in a lot of bonehead
positions. Yeah.
Your offensive line and the play calling, it's been so good. He really hasn't been pressured to do bonehead things. You know, you do bonehead things usually when the pressure, unless you're just like Adrian Martinez or something.
Right. Facts. Johnny O, spot on regarding OSU. We do not know if we have the goods. Can Howard lead when D is raising hell in fourth and he has to deliver?
Yeah, that's a valid question.
My question to that is, who outside of the top four is going to force us to do that? Outside of Bama, Georgia, and Texas, who's going to cause that?
The question is coming for, because we say it like this because we know you're going to make the playoff. This isn't about the regular season.
Right. It's about the postseason.
These are about the natty or bust. Will he be able to do that in the playoff against Bama, Georgia, Texas? You know, that's pretty much who else is up there.
I mean, I think y'all have a good enough defense. Y'all just don't have the offense to score.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Good therapist saying that. I mean, I hear you, but like then you're not going to capitalize on that. So then I'm not as afraid of that. But
we still have to we have to get better to be able to capitalize so the defense doesn't get gassed.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, ultimately it's Texas, Georgia, and Bama.
Who's after the three? Like who's 4 and 5 right now? I know Oregon is
4 is Georgia.
Okay, I'm forgetting about y'all. Then who's 5?
It's not Ole Miss. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. Number 5.
Ole Miss lost.
Yeah, number 5. Oh, number 5 is Georgia. But number 4 is Tennessee.
Goes, just stop. We won a championship. Oh, we're talking about a national championship. We ain't talking about no Big 12 championship. Stop. If you don't calm down.
He's not wrong.
He ain't not wrong, but he ain't right.
He's not wrong.
He ain't right. We're talking about a national championship. We ain't talking about the conference championship.
Yes, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. And we're not talking about a Big 12 championship. But everything else he said,
national championship, bro.
Everything else he said, he isn't new to college football. He can make all the throws. Deep ball needs work, but he's comfortable.
We talking about big time pressure situations for a championship, not conference championship, national championship.
Okay,
there's levels to this,
right? So then, outside of everything he said, yes, he only won a Big 12 championship, but he also didn't have Quinshawn, Travion, Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, Carnell Tate. This offensive line, he didn't have any of that. Now he does. So like it's different. It's different.
I'm not painting them as inexperienced, bro. I'm painting it that this is championship. This ain't conference championship. This is the national. There's the difference. Can he make those? When did he go against Georgia? Because he wasn't against the game in the game when Max Duggan was out there getting destroyed. It's not more impressive. It's not. Just stop. He wasn't in the game when Max Duggan was getting destroyed against Georgia. He was on the team, though, wasn't he? Or was he hurt? I can't remember.
No, didn't he get injured in that game? Maybe I'm wrong.
Max Duggan beat us, and then they got destroyed by Georgia.
But he didn't get injured in the Big 12 championship?
It might have been the Big 12 championship. No, I thought that was the game that Max Duggan was all tired, wasn't it?
That could have been.
I can't remember.
It was one of those. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about making big-time plays going against other big-time universities. There's a difference. You still have to show that you can do it. You don't know he can. You're just saying he can because he's at Ohio State. Same thing you did with Kyle McCord. He can. He can. Oh, okay.
But then if I can intrude and kind of make some points.
Go ahead.
Texas's only big game has been against y'all, right? Have they played any other games that have proved to you that they can do this?
No.
And that was at a time where y'all didn't have Alex Orji and were doubling down on
that would be football. That would be more the Texas defense. The Texas offense, we've seen them in against big time competition before.
Okay.
We've seen Cliff Ewers shred a Bama defense multiple times.
I mean, they beat y'all by 21. So, okay, I'll give Texas its proper due. But then Georgia has not only looked shaky against Bama, they looked shaky against Kentucky.
Georgia's looked shaky. Georgia definitely has.
And then Tennessee, do we really believe in the Tennessee hype right now? I mean, yes, they do have homeboy on the defense.
How good do you think their defense really is? I know
outside of him, I don't think they're that good at all. To be honest,
I know their offense is his scheme. His scheme is great. Hypo.
Yeah. Outside of James Pierce is a dog. But outside of that, I'm not crazy about their defense, and I think their offense can be had if we put pressure on Nico. And then Bama's looked great against Georgia too, but then they also gave up the lead that they had.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anybody. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. My
I don't think there's
question
any
was
reason
just,
to
do y'all trust that Will Howard can, okay, I need you to throw for 350. Can he do that efficiently, effectively, without making bone? Yeah, exactly. Where your eyes going?
You didn't say 350. You didn't say
350.
350.
Can he throw for 350 and get on my back? Everybody. I got
350 against an elite defense?
That's what I'm asking.
Because they're completely stopping Travion and Quinshawn? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, that was my question. Now I put a number 2.
350 is a lot.
Uh-oh.
350 is a lot.
That's my
question. I think he can do it, but like I don't have anything to base that off of.
That's what I'm, and that's all I'm saying. We haven't seen that. So it's, you know, when I've seen somebody do something, I'll give them credit. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they play for Ohio State. It's just a question, bro. I never. I said, can he put y'all on his back? And then I put a number to it. Don't get scared when I put a number to it. Now goes.
Antoine Johnson is right about Tennessee, but I am very confident in our DBs. So
I love Heupel the way I love a coach that knows what he's doing with his scheme and can scheme guys open. I love that. I love what Heupel does with his scheme.
Iowa might test Ohio State. You know, they sit back and cover 4 all day and tough against the run. I'm not worried about Iowa.
Oh boy, go on and say it. Go on.
I'm not worried about Iowa. Caleb Johnson.
I ain't worried about that.
I'm not worried about Iowa whatsoever. Caleb Johnson is going to get his yards and maybe 2 touchdowns, but it's not going to be enough. Cade's not going to get out of pocket and scramble for an additional 60, 70 yards. I'm not worried about that.
Goals, you just getting ridiculous now. I just said, can Will Howard put y'all on his back? You're just getting ridiculous, bro. See, you ain't right.
That's funny.
You ain't right now. See, just because I question the most important player on offense, if he can lead y'all, that's saying something crazy, bro. Sheesh.
We will need Will to put on a cape at least once this year and go straight Superman. I don't know if he can.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's true.
It's not a crazy question, bro. And I'm not saying
it's not a crazy question. It's not.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm asking y'all. Y'all to OSU,
I believe that he can. If we need him to do that at least once this year, I'm okay with him doing it once, maybe twice. But I just don't. First of all, I don't believe in some of these top 5 teams. I just don't.
They all seem to have flaws.
Yeah.
They all seem to have some flaws. We really haven't got to see Texas's flaw but that's coming up. We're gonna find that out. Like what, next week? Don't they play Georgia next week?
Georgia. So
we'll find out more about Georgia and Texas next week.
I was gonna say, or maybe Georgia just looks completely shit against them.
Yeah.
Then that still would. I feel like that still wouldn't give us enough information on Texas.
Yeah.
Because again, Georgia has looked shaky against Kentucky.
That would just say Georgia's not that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but we're gonna find out. But all the teams look flawed in some type of way. If you're talking about Bama, you got to look at their secondary. You giving up bombs like back to like bombs away every time. Like, okay, that's a problem. I don't care if you say, oh, we got Sab or whoever. Yeah, when that ball in the air, it's looking like a problem. You know, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
So everybody's got some flaws. Y'all, we don't know exactly yet because y'all haven't, same as Texas. Y'all haven't played anybody that's matched up good enough against you.
You know what scares me is a mobile quarterback.
Milroe.
A mobile quarterback does kind of scare me a little bit, especially if they have a running back that's also really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's like, okay, maybe
that's a problem.
Maybe they can make some things happen, but
especially the way DeBoer uses him. Like, he's a great offensive mind, so he knows how to. He's gonna put you in position to be successful.
Yeah,
that's always a problem. So just like Heupel.
Yeah. All right, let me read these last comments and then we can get up out of here. We ain't seen it because they haven't had to do it. They've sat their starters for most of the second halves this year. With these wide receivers, 350 is not out of the question.
I mean, it's not. But wide receivers don't throw to themselves. That's the question. That's where the question comes.
We don't have enough of a sample size to say whether or not Will Howard can for sure do it, but I feel confident.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did do it. It's just a question.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Lisa Sim says, nope, let's just get today's game out of the way without any injuries and move on to Oregon. Again, I feel like this 4-game stretch is a tough one. So I agree.
What's your score for this game? Because y'all don't play till 3:30. We don't play till 7. So if you want to talk a little bit longer, I can if you want to.
No, I do gotta kind of get out of here.
Okay. So what's your score?
I'm terrible at actual score predictions, but I do have us beating Iowa by at least 2 scores.
Got you.
At least 2 scores.
Me too.
So
I don't think they'll do enough offensively to hang.
I do think Caleb Johnson will get his 100, 125 yards and then maybe 2 touchdowns on the run. But it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be anywhere near enough. I was thinking somewhere close to that, to be honest with you. I didn't want to say 21 points would be the difference, but I was there. Yeah,
they're going to have to scheme up some trick plays and all that type of stuff.
Facts. Huge hater.
I just asked the good questions.
Okay.
If I wasn't a Michigan fan, y'all wouldn't say I was a hater. Y'all would just be like, these are valid questions. Or Josh Pate or one of them. He's asking some good questions, guys.
Realistically, like Homeboy said earlier, you are very smart when it comes to football. Like, I respect your opinions. I just hate the buffs. It's the buffs for me. Throw those in the trash. Oh, no. All right, so it's been real. Appreciate y'all for showing up for the live stream. Y'all been some real ones. I hate the fact that they're blue, too. I just hate it. I hate it all. 44-9 Buckeye. Oh, do you have a score prediction against Washington?
You know, I don't really do score predictions.
I don't either.
People always ask me. I'm just going to say we win. You know, it'll probably be close. Hopefully not, but let me just say we win.
Once again, I have y'all on the parlay to win, so y'all better. But pretty soon, I'm going to have to start taking y'all off the parlay against Illinois. I'm not even going to bet on that. I'm just going to leave it off my parlay. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be a bunch of injuries in that game, I bet. Knock on wood. Hopefully not for us, but they're going to be hidden.
Facts. Yeah, that's what it is. The buffs are the Connor Stallion special. That's what it is. They're little Spy Kids glasses. That's crazy. You're not supposed to agree with that. Anyway, on that note, appreciate all y'all for stopping by. Appreciate, obviously, External Server. Good job, guys. Make sure y'all like the video, like the live stream, subscribe, because obviously we do this every Saturday before the games. And obviously subscribe over to Johnny Olden, subscribe to us. And on that note, I guess we are out. Peace.
Go Blue.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. Go Bucks. Go Bucks, baby.
Bro, just end the thing. Why